The Hathersage Hibernator is a route that has been instigated by the Outside Shop in Hathersage. They are planning on running it as part of their winter race series in 2025, and they've been asking people to recce it over the course of January. The route itself is just under 24 kilometers. It's got an advertised elevation gain of 800 meters, but I think it is slightly more than that depending on which lines you decide to take. Doing a bit of a voiceover for this one, because when I'm running with other people and I'm talking to the camera, I feel like a knob. This was a little bit of an impromptu trip. My friend Steve basically messaged me the day before to ask if I wanted to go check the route out, so we decided to do that. It starts and finishes at Hathersage Church of England Primary School, which is the same place that the Stanage Struggle starts from. Just be aware if you try this route out, even if it's not in January, if you just fancy doing it as a long run, be aware that sections of the route are over open access land and are not technically public rights of way, so there is a no dogs ruling on the race route itself, so be aware of that if you are doing this as a run. For January, they'd set this route up on an app called MapRun, and that sets up checkpoints along the route that causes your phone to beep when you go through them, which I thought was a pretty interesting way of doing it, and it just meant that you knew you were on the right course. Upon completion of the route, there was a suggested donation of £10 to be made to Edale Mountain Rescue, which both Steve and I did, and Brab, who have effectively sponsored the event, I guess, had left a pile of merch in the outside shop for people to choose from when they finished their round. The route was mostly pretty familiar territory. I've run quite a few of these sections of the route before as part of other runs, and it's a lot of it is along the regular stomping ground for the Dark Peak Fell runners on their Wednesday club runs, so if you're in Dark Peak you'll already be familiar with a lot of the route. So it was a pretty pleasant day out, and I'd say it's a really nice one for just a good sociable long run if you fancy that kind of thing. The route itself is pretty varied. I'd say it's relatively beginner friendly if you are wanting to try longer fell races but still aren't that experienced. It is not very far away from civilization at any point during the route, but obviously do still be careful and take all the kit you need if anything does go wrong up on the hill.